Okay, this question says the average fuel consumption of a car in kilometers per liter is given by this formula. C is equal to D over F, where D is the distance traveled in kilometers and F is the fuel used in liters. Okay, so we have some information there. They tell us that D is 190 correct to 3 significant figures. F is correct to 1 decimal place. Right, it's 25.7 correct to 1 decimal place. By considering bounds, so the question is telling me pretty much which topic to use. So it's a question on bounds, and I thought that as I was reading, correct to, right? So it's correct to 3 significant figures, correct to 1 decimal place, right? When it says correct to, you're always thinking about bounds. It wants us to work out the value of C to a suitable degree of accuracy. You must show all your workings. Okay, so I need to do a couple of calculations. The first thing I'm going to do to try to pick up some marks is look at the two numbers that they've given us, 190 and 25.7, and write down their upper bounds and lower bounds. So 190 correct to 3 significant figures. So D is always going to be 3 digits, 3 numbers. Okay, it's going to be like 190, 191, 192. It's always increasing by 1. So plus or minus half of 1 to that to give me my upper bound and lower bound. So my lower bound is going to be 190 take away 0.5, 189.5. 190 plus 0.5, 190.5 would be my upper bound. So there's my upper and lower bound. Okay, I need to do the same for the other to make sure I pick up some marks. This is always going to be to 1 decimal place. So if I think about how this would increase or be counted in 25.7, 25.8, 25.9, so it will always be to 1 decimal place. So I need to add and subtract, right, 0.05 from this. So it's going to be 25.65 and 25.75. So let's put it down there so you could actually see what I mean. Okay, so that's its limits of accuracy, upper bound and lower bound for 1 decimal place. You should be familiar with this, and this should not take you too long to actually write down and work out, but always write it down. Okay, now it says by considering bound, work out to a suitable degree of accuracy. And you should know whenever you see this statement of suitable degree of accuracy, you need to work out both the upper bound and the lower bound. So I'm going to split my page in two, and on one side I'm going to work out my upper bound. Thinking about the upper bound, it's a division, right? So you should be able to remember what you do in a division to work out the upper bound of C here. I need to use the biggest value of D with the smallest value of F. D's upper bound, right? So the upper bound of D divided by the lower bound of F. A similar thing on the other side, right? To work out the lower bound of C, I need the smallest value of D divided by the largest value of F. So the lower bound of D divided by the upper bound of F. Get your head around that and make sure you are able to do it. Because I've written down all the upper and lower bounds over here, I just need to make sure I pick up the right numbers and put them in and do my mathematics. Okay, so you need to use a calculator, and we've got some results here. They said to a suitable degree of accuracy. So I need to think, if I round these to 1 decimal place or 2 decimal places, for what number are they both the same? So if I round them to 1 decimal place, yeah, so that's going to be 7.4. If I round the other one to 1 decimal place, I'm going to get 7.4. They're exactly the same. If I check this as well, if I rounded them to 2 decimal places, so if I rounded the upper bound of C to 2 decimal places, I would get 7.43. If I rounded the lower bound to 2 decimal places, I'll get 7.36. So again, not the same there. So to 1 decimal place it is. 1 decimal place, that's 7.4. And to 1 decimal place, this one here is also 7.4. So to a degree of accuracy of 1 decimal place, C is 7.4 for both the upper bound and lower bound. And that's my answer. Okay, a really straightforward question. If you think about it, you didn't have to do a lot of intensive working. It's really understanding and knowing what to do. And that's what you get a lot of those 5 marks for. Make sure you do understand it and you can get it.